Hey guys, River Dave here. 3 o'clock in the morning, Tuesday night, or Wednesday morning with the beer can. I want to talk a little bit about the web, RDP, beginnings, middle, end, all that stuff, right? So I want to tell you a story, and it's going to start pretty simple. I used to be on a website called hotboat.net, and I found that website originally when it had first become a free site. And there is a lot of history there that I could go over, but we're not trying to make this a 5 hour video. And if you guys really want to know about the history of River Dave and where River Dave came from and the OP6C parties and all that stuff, I'd be happy to make another video for you tomorrow night. What I'm going to tell you is that website was ruthless. It was not a nice place to be, and you could almost say anything and you'd have some shark just, oh, the sky's blue. No, fuck you. It's light blue, and you're an asshole, and it just wasn't all that, right? I learned something on that website though. I had a guy. I was trying to sell this big screen TV I had back in the time, way back in the day, and this guy says, hey, I fell on hard times, and I got these kids, and we need a TV, and it turned out to be a whole situation. He wanted me to shove this like 50-inch Mitsubishi, like the old school 500-pound things, in the back of his Jeep. And we got his life story real quick there. Stacy actually got his whole life story. And anyhow, turns out the TV wasn't going to fit his Jeep. Right? And he did have some real world problems that were not a fault of his own, and he had a bunch of kids, and Stacy put a call out on Hotboat to get some clothes for the kids and some food for him and some other stuff. And at the time, I was running a machine shop. We had a pretty good sized building and all this stuff, and she put it out there to me, and I put it out there on Hotboat, and there's Suburbans coming by and they're just dropping food off. I mean, like canned foods and this and that and clothes and you name it, it's coming. I mean, it was like 4 or 5 full-on truck beds full of stuff. And anyhow, we ended up delivering this stuff to this guy, and the guy said, like, "What are you, from the Red Cross or something?" And he was a Marine, believe it or not, former Marine, I guess, and he worked for, at the time, Altadena Dairy. And that was the first time that I ever seen the boards really do something that was like, wow, holy shit, that's positive. Like, it took this guy's life and it just completely changed it. He went from, like, I don't know how I'm going to feed my kids this week, to everything's going to be okay. And it didn't stop there. Roz actually knew the owners of the dairy, and he made some phone calls, and this guy went from some shit job to maybe getting a promotion or two a little faster than he should have. And anyhow, it really worked out for him. And I learned something that day that said, these things aren't all about shit talking. Sometimes they do a lot of good for a lot of people. It's a sense of community that is not found anywhere else, to my knowledge, anywhere. I've never been a part of something like that before that instant. So we can talk about how we started RDP, and I can talk about, the 4 forums that I was a part of before this and all this other shit. And the reality of it is it doesn't matter, right? Like, back then, people were ruthless. If you talk shit, you better be really good at it. Fortunately, I was. I never was good at the Photoshop thing. I still don't know how to do it. Don't care. You got to ask yourself though, like, even back then in your 20s, yeah, you're all gonna talk shit. And everybody's like some fucking right. We're not 20 anymore, man, and I don't think that the majority of my website is, and I'm not really catering to those guys. And I look at it, and Ziggy kind of nailed it, man. Like, we're all a little more mature now, and I actually question, if some of these guys are like, well, Dave's doing a brand, and Dave's doing this, and Dave's doing that. And You guys don't know what the fuck I'm doing. I know what I'm doing. I haven't shared with you what I'm doing. If I did, then everybody would do it. I'm not looking for a lifelong brand, although that would be cool. I'm not looking to be Mr. Corporate America either, right? Like, here's my Coors Light, and I drink it. Love that. It's somewhere in between. There's this fine line, right? And there's this fine line of what's appropriate and what's not. And you know, Froggy put it best years ago that there's a pendulum, you know, like a clock pendulum. And what's okay right now may swing way over here and not be okay then. Photoshops are a long-standing part of history of RDP, and you will never, ever hear me say those are not allowed. I mean, the Frank Holbert stuff, amazing. I mean, that guy still wakes up to this day and curses RDP before he walks out to his car. I guarantee it. And he fucking deserved it. Fuck that guy. But the idea that we're going to sit around, I mean, we're going to sit around and what, cause drama for the sake of causing drama? You know, I don't know if it's the last year or two, but I mean, I think most people move past it. You know, we're in such a cool spot right now, in a spot that I never thought we'd be in. The website is recognized as a national media outlet, and how the hell did that happen, right? But we are the biggest, and we are, frankly, in my opinion, the best. And, you know, we got all these guys looking at us, and, you know, they look at this stuff, like these Michael Jordan things, and they're just like, really? You know, and that whole deal with these guys, like, oh, we got to do this, we got to do that. Man, I'm easygoing, and I want to be real clear about this. I'm not mad about any of it. I don't care. I really don't care. You know, I mean, you guys want to give it a whack? Give it a whack, right? It was 2 days. It's nothing but a bunch of bullshit. It caused a bunch of drama. So you put old Steve on tilt. That's real fucking hard. You should be proud of yourself on that. What was the point of all that? Right? Because literally the week before, RDP was basically my wet dream. I mean, it's nothing but content flowing. It's organically growing. We're registering more members than we've ever had. Per day, we're registering. I mean, every time I go into the thing, it's 7, 10 new members. And it's 2 or 3 times a day. I mean, it's killing it. Post Michael Jordan bullshit, we're 60, 70 people off our numbers, in case you were wondering. So forgive me if I don't take your advice on how I should run my forum. We gave it a shot. You guys wanted it, I gave it to you. Didn't work out. So we can say, fuck all that. That being said, I would like to thank Paul. God knows I ran him through the friggin' ringer. You know, he was not a huge part of that deal, but he has a vested interest in the website, which is why I put him in charge of the website for a day. I said, you know what, Paul? You're going to live my life for a day. Let your friends do whatever they want to do, and you can deal with it. So, poor Paul got put through the ringer. Sorry about that. But, you know what? I think you have a little more respect for what I do day to day now. It's a pain in the ass. It's so much better if it's drama-free and just good times and voting. And, you know, honestly, what is RDP about? What is it about? I mean, ask yourselves, the members watching this, why do you go on this thing every day? If it's for any other reason than to see good times, you know, something custom, something new, learn something, current events, you're on it for the wrong reasons, man. That's what it's all about. It's what it's always been about. As I said, there's always 2 sides. You know, the hot boat thing started off photo chops, ended up helping some guy. I started RDP. I'd rather be on the right side of that than the left. We have some left. We're not Nazis, man. You guys want to have fun, you want to do that stuff, that's fine. If you're going to go out of your way to intentionally start shit with other members, well, we'll deal with it how we deal with it. Our rules are pretty gray. We don't have these long list of rules and you can't do this and can't do that. The basic rule is if you're being a dick, you're going to pay. That's what it is. I mean, there's really no more to say about it other than that. I mean, if you're being a fucking asshole for the sake of being an asshole, you're gonna pay. You're either gonna get banned, or God forbid, I get my hooks on you, I'm gonna make you pay even worse. Anyhow, guys, that is a long fucking video. I am going to drop some content on you now. I went all around last week to all these different boat shops. I got enough content to survive the winter if we need it, but I don't want to prematurely ejaculate that all into my forum. So I'm going to drop what's on my phone, and I'm going to remind you guys of what RDP is all about by showing you some of summer of 2016. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. We'll talk to you soon. Good night.